Good evening. It is Monday, July 29th. This is a special school board meeting of the Lake County School Board, public hearing on the tentative budget. Before we get started, let's have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I don't see any public input, so we're going to move on down to item 3.01, recommendation to adopt the 2024-25 tentative millage. Mr. Ward. Your name was there, so I thought I'd read it. So, do I kick this show off, or do you?
You do.
All
You
right.
start with the script there.
Perfect. All right. So I declare this meeting as a public hearing of the School Board of Lake County, Florida, for the adoption of the tentative millage rates and the tentative budget for the 24-25 fiscal year. Superintendent, please read the statement required on the millage for the record, followed by your recommendation.
The first issue to be discussed is the rollback rate. The rollback rate is defined as the millage rate necessary to generate the same amount of money that was raised the prior school year, but using the new property values after adjusting for new construction. The total millage to be levied is greater than the rollback rate by 6.3%. The purpose for which the ad valorem tax revenues are increasing are due to an increase in the required local millage revenues in order to comply with statute 1011.62 paren 4 and participate in the Florida Education Finance Program. Increase in the non-voted millage revenues in order to receive the state compression funds, and the increase in the capital outlay revenues in order to address the capital outlay and debt services needs as advertised. I recommend that the board adopt Resolution 2024-03 determining tentative millages to be levied for the fiscal year 2024-25. Included are required local effort, including prior period funding adjustment millage of 3.124 mils, the basic discretionary of 0.748 mils, capital outlay millage of 1.5 mils, and additional voted millage of 0.75 mils, for a total of 6.122 mils. The revenues generated by this levy total: general operating of $167,515,863, capital outlay of $64,895,092, voted additional $32,447,546, for a total of $264,858,501.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve resolution 2024-03 determining tentative millages for the fiscal year 24-25 as stated?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias and a second by Mr. Dodd. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning tentative millages? Seeing none, I find it appropriate to close the public hearing. Any discussion?
No, sir.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Superintendent, please read your recommendation for the adoption of the tentative budget.
I recommend that the board approve Resolution 2024-04, adopting the tentative budget for the 2024-25 fiscal year in the amount of $1,187,136,389.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve Resolution 2024-04 to adopt the tentative budget for the 24-25 fiscal year in the amount of $1,187,136,389.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the tentative budget? Seeing none, I think it's appropriate to close the public hearing. No discussion. All those in favor? Oh, you got one
We
that
had a
time.
discussion.
I just assumed.
You know, one
I'm so
highlight I
sorry.
noticed
Go
that I
ahead,
would
Mr. Dodd.
like to share and extend my thanks to the district in acknowledging in the school budgets this year. I noticed chorus, dance, and theater broken out, and I appreciate the support of those programs. You know, sometimes I know that those programs are far more costly than whatever teacher lead money might be able to support those. I think my bit of encouragement maybe going forward is to also give some sort of consideration to art. I had the opportunity to speak with the relative of an art teacher in one of our high schools who gets a $250 budget every year, and I just don't even know how you function with an art program on that kind of budget. And so just, that's my encouragement going forward, is that I know schools have discretionary in their operating budgets, but I don't know that all of that makes it down to some of these programs. And so that's my thought on that. Thank you.
Well, thank you for those comments. Any other comments?
No, sir.
All right, perfect. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Superintendent, please read your recommendation for setting the final budget hearing.
I recommend that the board declare that the final budget hearing for the approval of the final millage rates and budget for the 2024-25 fiscal year will be held on Monday, September 9th, 2024, in the Commission Chambers, Lake County Administration Building at 5:05 p.m.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation that the board declare the final budget hearing for the approval of the final millage rates and budget for the 2024-25 fiscal year will be held on Monday, September 9th, 2024, in the Commission Chambers, Lake County Administration Building at 5:05 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. Once again, this is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to address the board concerning the time and place of the final budget hearing? Seeing none, I find it appropriate to close the public hearing. Discussion. Mr. Dodd?
No.
Good, perfect.
That sounds like a great place and time to have that meeting.
Love those comments. Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. This concludes the required action for the public hearing on the 2024-25 tentative millage rates and budget for Lake County Schools. All right, moving on. Board member comments. Mr. Mathias?
No comments.
Mr. Dodd?
And none for me.
Dr. Luke?
Okay.
Oh, I'll take a moment real quick. Shout out to Carmen and the Ed Foundation for an incredible stepping out for education this year. I think this was number 18 overall, and Carmen's last, so we think, after a 20-year run as leading the Education Foundation for the district. Huge shout out to Dr. Terry Seuss. She brought home the trophy, had an excellent performance Friday night and an even better one Saturday night. One top female overall and audience choice both nights. So really fun event. Thankful to be a part of it. Superintendent Cornegie had some dance moves in the background. I did something in the background. I wouldn't call it dancing. Michael Randolph and Nicole Brohard. So fun time supporting our schools and supporting our students. I'm happy to be a part of it. That's all I've got.
What about the Lightning?
Oh, and Leesburg Lightning won another title last night, so thankful for that. My voice is slowly coming back. I yelled Thursday night at a baseball game, Friday night at stepping out, Saturday at stepping out, and then at a baseball game last night. So voice needs a break after today, but a good weekend nonetheless. Thank you.
Ditto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ditto.
that's all I have.
All right, no attorney present. Anyone against adjourning?
Nope.
All right, we're done.